Yeah, so guys, let's go.
And then we're off. Hi everyone, my name is Kutlo and
I'm Cassie Paul.
we're doing a bit of a podcast today. We have a whole production team in the background. Hey,
Serious things, man.
serious things are happening here. So we wanted to just like do a podcast so that we can just like go in memory lane and just like rekgakolole how mobile worship started and the journey that has brought us this far, because there's so many things that have happened like leading up to this moment, and we just wanted to journey back and just try to unpack all of that and see where we're going.
Yeah. So, where do we start?
Oh my goodness, maybe let's start. Obviously our first worship night.
I think first things first. I just remember getting a text message on Messenger actually from you.
Yeah.
Where hi, we had this idea with Mukwena, if I remember very well.
Yes, that's
We're
correct.
planning this thing and I was like, oh my God, I want to be part of it.
Yes.
And I'm excited. And for those who don't know, we had met go skolong ko Gantsi
Gantsi
Senior.
Senior.
So a bunch of us who started out with mobile worship were
Yeah.
from Gantsi Senior,
Yeah.
SU, or just that Christian community.
Yes.
So I remember that part, and then we started planning the worship night with
Well,
everybody.
before that, Gantsi
Yeah.
Senior, guys, Casey was so famous because Kolong and LA,
No.
Nali da worship.
Stop it, I like it.
Like it. This lady worship at senior school, so definitely we had to have her at our first worship night.
You make me feel important. But I think my thing is just like go assembling all the time. That was the fame that he's talking about. Other than that, I was just at Mamuruti
You
go
know?
assembly every Friday. Was it Monday? Golema SU singing Kalenzele Mahwata Lele Kodu
Lele
and stuff
Monatelele.
like that. Yes. So yeah, Gantsi Senior.
Yes, and so after that, we just wanted to do like a worship night, and we planned a worship night, go Maung, and our very first worship night, we really did not know where it was going,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was really good. It was, things didn't go according to plan. There were some things that we wanted to do that didn't go according to plan, but we didn't starve people. It was really great. It was like literally humble beginnings. What do you remember about that?
I just remember I was so excited, and the lovely thing is, at least the one thing that we were consistent with over the years was our planning didn't have to be like physical. We didn't have to be in the same room for us to be able to plan a worship night. I just remember we were talking about this, go Messenger, and then it moved to WhatsApp later in the years and stuff. But go worship night thing, I remember the support that we had from
My God.
our keyboardist, our then keyboardist mother, who was a pastor in Maungo CICC.
Yes.
Was it
Christ Church? I don't remember the name.
Christ Citadel Church or something like that?
Yes, yes.
And then we had it go Winela VDC Hall.
Yes.
And it was packed. The
It
thing
was
is, it
really
was
packed.
packed.
Like,
and
people came.
So we have a lot of pictures. I remember just this picture
Blonde.
with
The
and
blonde
I
hair.
was so crusty. But at the end of the day, we worshipped.
We're gonna put that up.
During the rehearsals, there was this lady now.
Oh my goodness.
That lady now, the worship song, Benjamin Dube. We had Bo Onneile, who's now married to
Yes.
Pastor Peloteu. So
Yes.
it was a beautiful thing. It was a learning curve as
It
well.
was really a learning curve.
That
but-
was 2015. Yes.
But a lot of people really came in and support, and it was just like really amazing.
Yeah.
So from then we met up after that.
Yes, did
And
the
we were
review and
like
stuff.
did the review,
Serious
and
things.
we're like and just unpack this, and what is this? And we decided on the name Mobile Worship. Now, who started who was the one who coined mobile? This one right here.
I want the people to know if I die, please tell my kids. Yeah, so I remember everybody was coming up with ideas.
Yes.
But then the thing is, I don't know if it was you who shared that the Lord was saying this is going to be an annual thing, like we're going to do it, and we wanted to move around. Because we sat down and then we wanted to define, okay, what is it that we want to do? Exactly. We knew we were not just a band. We knew we were not a gospel group like Bojoa Celebration, because then we knew we were not those things. Yes. And then so what set us apart was we wanted to move around, and our vision was going global.
Yes.
And it still is.
It still
We're not
is.
dead
We
yet.
want to fly, ne? Please, we want to book those planes. And we want to go there.
So and then I thought, but then we'll be mobile and we're worshiping and we're planting the culture. Mobile worship.
It was
so
very
my
nice.
kids must benefit from that name. I'm just joking.
Any royalties will give it to you.
But yeah, the thing, I think mobile worship, it taught me that the credit was not for one person. Like all of us contributed, even the people that were not in the leadership structure, they contributed so much, and the two of us can't say, no, we did this.
Yes,
we know
absolutely.
it's a community that built mobile worship.
Absolutely.
And it's a God vision. It's just that, in every setting where there's a group of people, God has to trust somebody to lead the people, not necessarily that person is the one doing all of the work.
Exactly.
So yeah.
I think one of the most important, somebody texted me on Messenger and they were like, we're trying to start a group and we want to know how did you guys make it? And I remember telling him, you have to care about people. You have to build family. You have to care about people beyond just coming to serve you or coming there, mobile worship. You have to entrench yourself into their lives, understand what's making them, and really go the extra mile. And I think that is most of the stuff that has really sustained us, because apart from the fact that we had people serving in mobile worship, these people are our friends. Even now, we're
still good,
we're still
we
good.
Keep in touch, or
we keep in touch.
We try.
Yes, we keep in touch and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about I don't know if it was our second worship night, Go Gantsi, which was, there's a whole story there. Let's start
I'm trying to laugh like a lady, but the generator is coming through. Yeah.
So let's start off with Palama ko Maung, because you missed the bus.
Sure. What happened? Did we all miss the bus, Kana? We ended up
Yes, I understand how you guys, because
yes.
Yes.
And I think Mas Mafi, not Mas.
Yes. No, Mas is here. Mas is like, what?
Yeah. So that time, I don't know how we missed the bus, honestly, because salary and then we ended up hiking. Masters in Maung, because most of us are north. So and then I think Nalite for Nerasako my Philly Brucey by Kopele, so that they can go help you guys set up. Lebo O'Neill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And that was the worship night where the Lord had just said we're going to worship under the stars.
Under the stars, yes.
Yeah. And then it did happen.
But
I think not a lot of people came.
Not a lot of people came. I was actually sort of like in charge of that worship night, because obviously me and Dimpo, I was, because and so I had to make sure that everything. But to me the flyer the flyer everywhere. I was telling everyone, I was going to churches.
Yeah.
Guys,
and also on social media.
Social media we were doing sponsored posts and everything, but not a lot of people showed up, but we didn't lose hope, because I do remember at the beginning of the year the Lord had showed me that we would worship under the stars, and at the end of the day we stood there as a team and we worshipped, and the starlight was absolutely amazing that night.
And I remember there were two confirmations to what the Lord has said to you. I think it was through Mokwena and O'Neill.
Yes.
They shared the same sentiments. And above everything else, about the worship night in Gantsi was the following day, because what people don't know is that every Friday, every Friday of our worship nights, we have the worship night, and then the following day we wake up early, prepare, and then we go minister either at the clinic or at the prison. And go Gantsi, the worship night there, we were ministering at the prison, and I think that's where the revival went.
Revival was there.
That happened. So for me, it wasn't like we wasted money going to Gantsi. We were just so revived and aligned. We are walking in the will of the Lord.
Amen.
Let's talk about the prison ministry.
Let's talk about the setup. Those people were so prepared.
Yeah.
They had the instruments.
They were hungry.
Like they had everything. They were like, do you have a keyboardist? Those people were so hungry for the Lord. And when we sang, they sang along. Sometimes you get into an atmosphere and you feel it's so heavy. And people, are not willing to just worship or sing. But those people were just so hungry for God. And when we went there, they sang every song. They were there, they were singing.
Talk about the testimonies.
They even preached. There was a preacher who preached one of the best sermons actually that I've heard in my life. That man really preached to my heart and he preached to my soul. I remember the sermon even today in my heart, and he really blessed me, that man. It was really, so prison ministry ko gantsi, it was a start of something that was really nice and something that was really great. So it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and I think was Gantsi prison our first prison ministry?
I think Gantsi was our first
Yeah,
prison
and then
ministry.
when we went back to Maung, we had an opportunity to go minister
Yes.
at the Maung prison as well.
Yeah.
Of which I think the first time we went to Hareako Gantsi for the prison ministry, which we call a worship campaign, when we go
Yes.
minister at hospitals, clinics, and anywhere else. That's those Saturdays.
Yeah.
That's a worship campaign for us. So the first time we went to to do a prison ministry,
Yeah.
I was scared because
Yes.
in my heart of hearts, I'm like, oh my God, prison.
Yes.
And then you think about these people as just criminals.
Yes.
But that was the time where I noticed, like, there were faces behind
Yes.
all these crimes and stuff. And there's also a story behind all
There's
of
a
this.
soul.
And there's a soul. And and you in your heart, that is where I started believing that prison can rehabilitate a person.
Yes,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like that man who was preaching, when he's their pastor.
Yes.
When like, he had, like, the government had so many chances to execute him, but the Lord kept on showing up because his work in prison wasn't done, and so he was still there. Like, so for me, it was just like Mudimu is in every person, and Mudimu shows up the way he wants to show up, as long as his message I sent across.
Amen.
So we were there to minister to these people, but also they ministered to our hearts.
Yes.
Because I remember seeing one, I know now he's a man, but he was one boy we went to school with, and he was a troublesome kid.
Yeah.
But it was also so beautiful to see him in that space where he was pouring his heart to God. That was a life-changing for me.
It was
That
absolutely-
was my highlight.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think one memorable worship night that we had, apart from prison ministry, because I think after the Gantsi prison ministry, we went to the Maung prison ministry, which was also good, which was also successful. There's a man there, Obisanghote Tesha, and he is the one who really opened his he's opened himself to us. So he opened his prison doors so that we can just like come there and just like worship with them. But I want to talk about our one of the most memorable times in our worship night, Shakawe, going to Shakawe.
Yeah.
And none of us had ever actually seen the Okavango before.
Well, except
Okay,
me,
except me, because
because that's where I'm
she's
from.
an Okavango native. So you've seen the water many times.
Yeah.
Some of us, we had never seen water in our lives.
I think that worship night was like, the beautiful thing was for my mom to meet these people that I spent every December with, because every first week or second week, get mobile worship. There was a time in mobile worship. She was mad, but she also understood, okay, work and ministry and stuff like that.
Yes.
So for me, personally, it was beautiful.
Yes.
And then she knows how she remembers you guys.
Yes. And on
Khona
our
lo wa
Twitter
di-trash can.
Yo, wait, the trash can
The trash
story.
can. Who was the trash can guy? Was it him or Taone?
I don't remember. Was it me? Wait, what did I do? No, guys, I don't remember.
you were looking for a trash can
no,
to
no.
throw some letter. Hey,
No.
and mama, hey, ngwana ke o retetse makgowa. But that's the thing about mobile worship. There's just relationship and family that we build. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yes. No, never tersentle go gumare, guys. I don't want to lie. I never tersentle or go gumare. And I
Except
absolutely...
for the trash can.
Except where I wanted to throw something. I had trash. And I wanted a trash can. Guys, it's okay. But it was absolutely nice to be
Yeah.
at Gumare. We rehearsed go Gumare. And then from there, we made our way to Shakawe.
Yeah.
There we were, go Shakawe. And really the touristiana.
Nice.
Just like interacting with the people, interacting with everyone. Man, it was so nice. And then Harreta. Like we see this body of water, ne? And was like, oh, what is this? A river? No, sir, it's the Okavango. Yo.
Yeah, go social studies.
Yeah, go social studies thing. Because
Geography.
we used to go social studies thing, but we don't
Yeah.
know. And so we seeing it there, and it was like absolutely amazing. It was absolutely good. Just seeing it, it was just amazing. It was just absolutely beautiful, and we just started singing. We just started like absolutely loving it.
And we took
I d-
pictures.
Yes, but But Portia's here actually. Portia, how was the Okavango experience? Was
But I was hungry.
Yo, but
Was hungry this one.
Portia,
That's what I remember when you say that.
yes.
How was Shaka, ma'am?
Shaka was beautiful. And honestly, when I'm hungry, I'm moody. I was moody half of the time.
Yes.
Until we ate. And then
Everything was fine.
Everything was okay. But to be fair, I thought we were walking from one
And
place
she
to
kept on asking that we eat first.
yes.
Yeah.
And so-
But I remember there was a guy who was playing. Was it the guitar that he made for himself? Was it a harp? Yeah, and he was singing. And then we were there just interacting with him.
oh yeah.
It was also just beautiful seeing my friends interact with my people.
Oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. I
Yeah.
actually don't remember that. Now I'm really going nostalgia. It's just bringing, and we were just kids when we were doing this.
We were kids.
Neras na salary.
I was just, and we were
What?
sponsoring ourselves.
We were
I was just
sponsoring
saying
ourselves.
to Portia, now that we are, working towards the big ages, this is what we can tell,
Yeah.
like, the youngings, during our times, because we were young, we
Because
were
we were-
teenagers, and then we got into our 20s and all of that. But then our hearts were in serving God, even with our pockets. This is something that I was given this section at every worship night to talk about the sponsorship part and just to tell people. And this was us trying to appeal to the people in the audience. Ra sponsor guys for us to move from Gaborone, Gumare to Bobonong to Francistown to Ramotswa
It's
to
all on us.
Lobatse.
It's
It's
all
all
on
on us to Letlhakeng and Ramotswa all over the country. And it's just beautiful how we never really got weary.
Yes.
And then COVID happened, but
Yes. No, it's really easy to give up. It's really easy to give up. It's there are some tough moments really, and I think the money spot is really
one of
tough.
them,
It's one of
yeah.
them. Honestly, we will not lie to you and say it's not difficult. It's difficult, but it takes a great deal of sacrifice. And also, a tough moment, Hella, is having to lose some of the people, some of the beautiful people that we have to like work with, because they found a new vision, they found a new passion, and all that kind of stuff. So those are some of the like tough moments, and I think one of the tough moments was actually losing one of us, and he was our drama, and he was like the best thing that had ever actually happened to us
in literal sense.
in literal sense, and I've never seen a drummer who invested in his drum, not only his heart but his soul, his spirit. He didn't just play, but he ministered with those drums, and it was absolutely amazing.
And I think we lost him in 2018,
Yeah.
and I just don't think we've ever been the same since then.
No, absolutely
Because he was. It's how now the things that are happening with mobile worship, like our wins, he predicted them. He spoke about them, and for me, there were times when I felt like people were not catching on the vision and all of that. And it was frustrating for me to understand that sometimes it takes time for people to get it. But he was the optimistic one,
Yeah.
He would always bring the God element into everything. I remember when we were I think it was the second time around when we were at Maung for a worship night, and he was playing. At some point, I think his drumsticks broke, but now we kept on hearing that he was playing some way, and he felt like he was in the presence of angels in that moment. It was such a divine moment that for us being kids, it was like, and that was the time when I felt like, I need to listen to this man. Yeah, and not just take, no, it's just him saying these things like he usually does. That's when I started taking him seriously when he says stuff. You guys are going to get combis. We're going to get combis. We're going to be, you're going to, like he spoke so much into us as mobile worship, because most of the times I did the worrying. I was so worried like about a lot of things. And yeah, so I think that's one of the toughest things that we've ever went through. And then the other thing, like I mentioned, for me, my perspective was getting to a point where I understand that it takes time for people to understand where we're going.
Yeah.
And for most part of it, we were still figuring it out.
Yes, no, we were still figuring it out.
I then realized that, okay, we cannot force anybody to understand something.
Exactly.
That lerona we don't necessarily understand. We know where we want to go, but maybe we just
The
don't know
journey,
how to go
yes,
about
the
it.
journey there is a very
Yeah.
difficult. Like just building something or starting something is not always the easiest thing to do. It
Yeah.
really takes time. It takes patience. It takes a great deal of sacrifice that you have
Yeah.
to go through. Just especially building something at such a young age, it's a lot. But the one thing that I've learned is consistency. You have to just keep on going.
Yeah.
You have to just keep on praying. You have to keep on trusting God. You have to keep on saying, God, the vision, I see it, and I know that you will perfect it. You have said in your word that if you have said something, that you will let your word perfect it. You will let your word do it. Your word does not return unto you void. So it's a trusting process. You have to
Yeah.
really trust God in those moments when you're building.
And then I think what's tough now is that we're grown,
Yeah.
like really grown.
Yes.
And we're trying to figure out this adult
Balancing.
thing and balancing everything out.
Yes.
And then like most of us are outside Gaborone,
Yeah.
whereas you are here.
Yes.
And most of the times you try to like arrange stuff for us. And then nakiloko maundi mphaloko Gantsi and others
Yeah.
ba le kae. Sometimes we're busy and it's not, like even the people that are in gaps are not able to show up,
Yes.
But I just feel like eventually God is going to help us figure that out.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we really need to figure out right now so that the legacy doesn't die.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about like going to Shakawe, but I want to talk about, I think, one of the most successful worship nights that we've ever had, which was at Lobatse.
Yes. Ramotswa was one of the most like I feel like Ramotswa for
vibrant.
me vibrant and also spiritually hella there was just that
Yeah.
thing, that oneness.
Yes.
But the most successful, of course, Lobatse.
Of course.
Oh, V was preaching
V
at
was-
Ramotswa.
Yes.
Oh, shout out to V Man Peasy.
Shout out to V-Man Peasy.
Yeah, ne.
V was
Ke
preaching.
gakologa la re ne ke ata go ithakgatha nako ya teng ke bine ke itha ke re o tantseng ya mo
Dancing
squadeng.
on one of the dances.
But Ramotswa was so beautiful. That's when we had like the bonfire afterwards.
Oh, we had a bonfire.
Yeah,
at
and, then
Ramotswa.
and that room was full of youth.
Yes.
And I remember people
Yes.
traveled all the way from Gaborone. And batho ka bontsi ba ne ba ile go kwa wa itse.
Batho ne ba
It
ile.
was so full.
It
Le
was-
Lobatse, mme.
It was absolutely amazing. No, it was very vibrant. I like about, I don't remember the church name.
On time.
On Time
Yes,
Ministries.
On Time Ministries.
On Time. So shout out to On Time Ministries.
Yeah.
Because they really gave us one of the most vibrant worship nights that we've ever had. Because like those,
And they were involved.
they were
in-
involved.
yeah.
I really like it. I love it when you sing, you hear people sing, or people engage. That is the most beautiful thing ever. And I really like the bonfire. I think we have like a snippet, a photo of the bonfire, but it was
Yeah.
really great.
I know we have pictures, like in my old PC, I know we have pictures
Yeah.
of when we were working to the church and we're trying to make directions, like to
Yes.
give people directions.
Yes.
Ka dinepe nyana, re ithuta this
Yes.
digitalizing stuff.
Shout
And
out.
just their social media presence, my child. Yeah, so Lobatse.
I know, we really tried.
Yeah.
And so, and then after that, we went to Lobatse,
Yes.
which was really good, shout out to Watchman Church International, really honestly, for always supporting us
To this day.
to this day, honestly. And so that worship night that we had was incredible, was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. It was like something that we've really, that's when we look at Lobatse, we're like, that's mobile worship. That's what we want.
That's
what
who
we
we
want.
are.
That's who we
Yeah.
are. That's what we want from a worship night. I remember for the guys, I think 4 or 5 more beteng e le one. Ko ga go itse.
And you know the thing, nna ne re robetse monate ke re-
You
Now we
guys,
were
it was not fair,
princesses.
ne? It was not fair, guys.
But I miss those times. Yes, I
Go
miss the
on, Mama
parts
Ruth.
where we were just camping because that
Yes.
is where we were bonding.
Yeah.
Like every time because we always, if worship night was on Friday,
Yes.
we would travel like on Wednesday. We would have it would be like our Arrival Day rehearsals,
Yes.
and then Thursday rehearsals, Friday inside. Oh my God, I miss the camping.
Oh my
I just want to
goodness.
feel like a kid again.
I know. I also want to feel like a kid again, but I'm not sleeping really 5 and guys. That's not happening.
But that's the heart of it. We cannot go into hotels, guys. No, we must sleep on the floor
We must
together.
sleep on the floor. Actually, I think we went to Francistown and we kind of slept on the floor.
Bobonong, I think, as well.
Yes.
Bobonong, we did sleep on a bed, but we
the
shared
Bobonong
the
we
rooms.
slept on the Bobonong was
the girls,
really great.
Yeah, the girls were staying in the. But tell her, guys, these people made me their mother. I was mothering them. Look at I Ainela whenever. Yay! I look over Bobonong khone. Yo, and that. Oh my God, Bobonong was the time.
Bobonong was the one.
Bobonong was the time.
I think what I remember about Bobonong, you remember, but when I used to Bobonong before, but I kind of Bobonong since already people to go sing. And I don't know who. I don't know if it's Kihoisi or no. Kana how tla wana ha tshwantse re go kgosing tshwantse re go lisa go kgosing gore la go ithupata gore nya ke rona ba, or else you will see at night ke rona ba re tsile and re netile. We are here. We so Bobonong was really good. I think Bobonong in terms of hospitality.
It was amazing.
But
in terms of the worship night itself, Bobonong in terms of like our camping, and we even had like the marketing side of it.
Yes.
We were able to go like go Bobonong, go Molong, and we were singing out
Oh
there.
yeah, we were singing.
And
Go
people were just
Molong.
looking at us like, what is this? But I think we should do that. We should do that
we
part.
Need to do that.
That's the street evangelism and just worship and stuff.
Absolutely amazing.
Just to bring back mobile worship into the radar and stuff.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Jehovah Yahweh International Ministries.
Yes,
how do you remember all these ministries? Because we've worked with so many ministries.
We have, and we thank you guys. We thank all the churches that looked at us and then they saw the God in us, not the Asian Rtakayon. Because look, come to think of it, we got this like as in. But now you realize we were teenagers. We were in the 20s.
Yes.
Teenagers. I think we started out really teenager.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
so
exactly. And so like.
And they took us seriously.
Yeah. And so at first we wanted to like do it on our own, and then we realized like there's so many ministries who are willing to support us and who are willing to just like help us to be successful at this.
And please come through again.
Yes, and please come through again, because the other thing is that you're always going to be knocking. There's some ministries that like really did not like want to help for reasons that they may know, and so we were disappointed at times. There's some ministries that were like, no, we want to help you.
Like, yo, man.
We want to help you. I remember like there was one ministry that we had a lot of back and forth with because we wanted to make a worship night happen at a certain location, and really tota nehopala. So I feel like when you're starting something out there, and especially if you're going to start a group or start a movement like this, you should know what you're going to face a lot of rejection. There's some, just because they're Christian doesn't mean they're going to help you, because like sometimes they don't have to, because I feel like we think no, we're in the same faith, so at the moment I say this, then they're going to agree. No, it's not going to happen. So you're going to meet a lot of pushback. You're not going to meet a lot of rejection. But one of the people that did accept us, that church Letlhakeng, it was really, really lit.
Twice even.
Oh, we even went the second time.
When was that? 2019? Yeah, I think that was the last worship night, I think.
Yes.
We went there July and December. So the worship night, they happen July and December.
Yes.
Every year. Even when like July and December.
Guys, after we went the first time, the Letlhakeng people were like, you guys have to come back. And it was absolutely amazing. The youth there, the vibrancy, they were so vibrant, they were so engaging. It was absolutely like amazing. I would go to Letlhakeng over and over again. Thought that it was absolutely amazing. And
there's this part in our Modi worship night in Tsaruna where, what did we call that? Where we're sitting down, like we get off stage and we just sit down. The deep worship part. In most worship nights, people were getting confused about, what's happening? Because it's after a break and stuff. But then with Letlhakeng, those people just embraced it. They went with the flow.
Oh my goodness.
I remember we just started singing and then they were in there, with us.
Yes.
No, December we were going back. But also we need to also thank God and thank our friends. I had friends by Longore, they came through. You had friends, like everybody who was part of mobile worship had friends who were kind of like family, and they traveled all the way. Like when Bobonong, Bompolebofio, they will be coming there,
Oh my
going
God,
there.
a support
Rea
system.
Lobatse, Rea Letlhakeng, Bommase in the background.
But
But you know what I mean? And
Yes.
then we had people that joined the team later on. But when on social media, kind of attend our worship nights and just wanting to be part of it. And the thing, I got to a point where I noticed not everybody is cut out to be part of mobile worship, because mobile worship was like you just have to have the heart for God and literally giving yourself away and not necessarily expecting to be paid in that moment. Not meaning we cannot find ways to find ways to make sure that we support the people that are part of us. But
very important.
the lovely thing for me was, if we've been doing this thing and we've just been doing it for God, and and then people were just offering their hearts, and then even when we got confused, they'll be there confused with us and trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and we really need to thank our best of the bestest, Mr. Masters here.
Yes.
Master, for being part of us for the longest time.
The longest, yeah.
Hey, and even when people left, Gantsi, we also appreciate you, my sister.
Yes.
You know, yes, bo hope, bo boni. You know, just the people that have been holding us down and also supporting us.
Yes.
Bo Poshia, and the pastors that are still checking us on us. Hey, that checking on us. But Jasmine, oh my God, her passion.
Yes. And speaking of the recent people that we have right now, the Gaborone worship night that we had, which was in Gaborone, because we've been traveling all around, but we had actually never been. Gaborone is like very tricky. It's
but
very
God,
tricky. We were like, because I feel like Gaborone comes with expectations. People like embrace excellence, and
they want the best keyboard.
They want the best keyboard. At the village, the people don't care if Mike let me tell you, village people really, honestly, they don't care. They just want God. So we were like, my goodness, we need to just like and then we come to Gaborone, and but it was good. It was really nice. We had an absolutely fantastic time in Gaborone. So shout out to Palaidi, who was like actually the MD for the for that worship night, which was really, really good. It was really, really amazing. And his passion, that God has really gifted us with people by Lengore. They really have given themselves to this movement, and it's very important for us, even if they're not here, to recognize their contribution to our movement. So it is absolutely amazing.
And thank you to Mokwena for starting this thing with us. You know, I don't think we mention him a lot, but he's one of the people by Longore. Organizer, planner, and all of that. So, yes. No, but mostly no alone. Now it's just that lady, and I come with the motherly voice, and then yes, very important, ladies. You must get it from me. It's very important. So
I don't know how much time we have, but I wanted to talk about like the commercial event that we had, like Back to Sunday School, which is
I forgot about that one.
Back to Sunday School.
2022.
Yeah, 2022. We had that. It was a great.
I'm getting triggered.
It was hectic. It was really, really hectic. But I think we managed to pull it off. But I think one of the challenges that we experienced, honestly, we were there and we were ready. And I think the person who was supposed to arrange sound for us pulled out at the last minute after we paid him.
Wherever you are.
Who still owes us, by the way.
And I still want that man. I still want it.
So it was very difficult to set up. It was very, very challenging. I think one of the most challenging thing, especially when you're doing an event, a gospel more Botswana, is that rehearsal space, it's very expensive. Rehearsal space, there's not a lot out there. So you have to make sure that you partner with a church. It's very expensive. It's very, very expensive. And the gospel event, most of the time, community ya rona e nyane. So you have to always be aware of that. You have to always be aware of that. Try as much as possible. You have to work really, really hard in order to set that up. But at the end of the day, I feel like God showed up, and we were able to do something, and we were able to like learn from that.
And my thing about the back to Sunday school was how people waited. We should have started around 4, I think.
Yeah.
But we started around 9 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
Because there was another person with the sound who said, okay, I'll come through for you. But I'm on my way from Francistown, I think, if I remember well. And we had to wait for that person because that was our last resort. A few
2
minutes
PM.
away, get stuck. Okay, my God, I don't want to lie. I'm still very, I'm getting triggered. But my thing was, people waited.
Yeah, people
And
really
the people who
waited.
left were not mad at us.
No.
If they were mad at us, they did not tell us that they were mad at us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, maybe but we go horari, and also I appreciate that because at that point in time we have to pay somebody else ID with the little that we have, and then we also have to pay the band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had to sit there. I remember, I was getting my last cent from my account. We were paying people there.
We were in debt. I was in debt.
I was in debt for most of
Like,
that
if
year,
we're
and I
being
was
honest.
I didn't recover till after a very long time.
Me
And for
too.
me, every time
was-
I organize an event, I'm like such an event, but it's not going to stop me from trying again, if
Honestly.
at all.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a beautiful thing.
It
We
was
had
a
so much
beautiful
fun.
thing. It was
The
a
people that
beautiful
were there, you know what, this was amazing. But to waiting for us
really,
to start,
really waited.
so
They really waited.
yeah.
And that is absolutely amazing. So, so far, we have, it's very
Yes,
important.
Yes.
It's
In
very
a
important.
conversation.
Yes, so as we wrap up our conversation, let's talk about what is next for us. As you might know, we've already released a song.
Are, Tiki, tiki,
So that is what we're doing. We're really now concentrated, I think, on music production. We want to write music that is going to be sang in churches, not just
Yeah.
in Botswana, but all over the world. So
Yeah.
we're really concentrated on music production and really trying to give you more music from mobile worship, especially this year. Expect a lot from mobile worship in terms of music, in terms of production. So you'll be seeing us a lot there by Apple Music, by Spotify there,
Spotify.
by YouTube there. You'll be seeing a lot of us there. So expect that from mobile worship, especially in this season that we're in.
Yeah, and I think for all of us who have been part of mobile worship, the other thing that the gifts we were nurturing was songwriting. We would have conversations about songwriting, and we realized that we had people by Longkore, they are gifted in writing songs. So now the idea is for you guys to be able to hear them. Because a song that's not recorded is not necessarily a song that's communicated.
Exactly.
So we want to record that so that Laharaseo, you guys are able to listen to those songs and they can speak into your lives.
Exactly.
So that's what's next. And
yeah,
most probably, doing the worship nights again, because we
yes,
considered
absolutely.
doing like the worship night last year, but in Maung, it didn't really work out, but we'll see where God is also taking us on that one.
Absolutely.
And
but apart from that, we each have we really I think in mobile worship we embrace everybody to have their own personal
Individuality,
ministry. We're not just the group, but we're also individuals as well. I know Cassie definitely has been doing a lot on her personal
Yes.
capacity. I think last year you did your 6th annual
and it was
Women
my
and Girls.
biggest event ever.
It was absolutely
I'm still in
amazing.
awe, guys.
It
Call me
was
for your event
amazing.
planning. I'm now certified because 6 years of doing this thing.
It was
Call me
absolutely
up.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are you going to be, what can people expect from you this year?
So this year, we're just intentional about literally getting into people's spaces and helping them become better versions of themselves. And my focus is going to be on adults, but I'm focusing on teenagers this year.
Yeah.
Just developing, just developing their readership culture and just generally personal development. And I'm also working on releasing an EP, just like 4 songs. Guys, it means a lot to me because as a solo artist, it's been so long.
Isn't so
You know what I mean? It's been so long. So I'm working with Kurt,
Yeah,
Katla
shout out to Kurt.
Ndlovu. He's God sent, and hopefully very soon it'll be out. I have a book out there.
Oh,
Coming Home
yes.
to Self. It's a self-help book. It's beautiful, guys. Not because I wrote it, but because it is.
Yeah.
And I'm also working on a devotional that'll be published this year.
My goodness.
So I think that's just me for now.
My goodness.
What about you?
Hey, get kibu after us now.
Oh, come on.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I can say
No, guys, he's just kidding. He's doing amazing stuff. If I were to tell you, so yeah.
Yes. So okay, for me, on my personal capacity, look forward to like music, a lot of music. I'll be releasing music, definitely on my personal capacity. Very soon, I will be having a single out. It's called Name Above Names, which is going to drop in about, I think, February. So I expect that I'll be dropping.
I know, because he's such a good songwriter, guys. Call
So-
him up for songwriting sessions.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be releasing that on February. So watch out for that. And also, I want to delve more into videography and just like write short stories and all that kind of stuff. So also. Also, I want to get into like a videography and like do like a short story because it's been something saying it's a bit of a passion of mine. I want to produce something very soon, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to make that happen this year. I want to place a special spotlight in. There's a certain center that we've been really working on as mobile worship, but also it means such a lot to me. Gamodubu. It's a center for children or kids. Most of them are living with HIV and AIDS, and most of them are orphans, and they do such an incredible work there. And we've always had that whenever we have the chance, always donated and visited them. It's such an incredible place. I would just encourage you to just like go there. You don't have to. If you have nothing to donate, you can just go there. So I want to highlight or place a spotlight on Gamodubu Childcare Center, Gamodubu, because they're doing such an incredible job. So if you get the chance and if you have the resources, kindly check them out.
All right.
So I guess that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to more of these.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
We want to put the spotlight on Kutlo. Thank you so much for, he's been holding the fort for mobile worship, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think when we have been doing this mobile worship thing, how I'm going to go Durban and then I'm this side, I'll be holding the fort. But I think you've been holding it for a very long time right now, you know, and it kind of feels comfortable, you know, following your lead, but I know it's not easy. And so thank you so much for not giving up, because I think if you had given up, mobile worship for too long, movement, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So may the Lord bless you for that. I just want to say
That's
that.
so sweet. I'm gonna cry. I just have
I want to
something
thank
in
my
my
mother.
eye.
So yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and having a conversation with us. Let us know what you want to know on the comment section, and just anything. Please just give us anything.
Bye bye.